Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mash and Drum Whiskey Room. Happy Whiskey Wednesday. What is up? We sure have some whiskeys. We're gonna do some live double bass head-to-head matchups tonight. If you guys don't know what double bass is, it's when the drummer has two bass drums on his kit. And I came up with a series where I put a couple whiskeys head-to-head. Haven't done some in a while, and I've had a lot of requests for people to give me for me to compare some bourbons and some whiskeys head to head. So I figured, why not do it live tonight with you guys? We'll have some fun. We'll chat. We'll do some, I'll take some requests in the chat room to do some, a couple extra matchups here and there. And we'll see how it goes tonight. I'm starting the night with a little Weller 12 because it was just sitting there staring at me on the barrel. And I'm like, man, I haven't had that in a long time. So I figured, why not? Let's go to the chat room. All you beautiful people, thanks for hanging out tonight. Really appreciate it. Let's see. William James Jr. is here. What's up? Justin Jenkins. Christopher David. What's going on, man? William Wiley. Cameron Lochner's here, as always. The Cheech bot's in the house. Thanks, Cheech. Two TQs. Rye Flight. Let's get it on. Sugar Kitty's here. What's up, Sugar? Kelsey Dime, of course. Chris Buzalencia. What's going on, man? Whiskey Food Travel Reviews is here. Nice to see you, man, as always. Donald Rance, Whiskey Yoda. Hello. Nice to see you. Jared O'Connor's in the house. What's going on, buddy? Nice to see you. Kenny Killingsworth is here as well. Thanks for coming in. Tim Gorgeous is here. Craig Benfield, he's having some Grandad, Bottle and Bond, and Old English 800 malt liquor. Damn, that's quite the combination, Craig. Quite the combo. Mike Franklin's here. What's going on, man? Anthony Orlando. Ryan VH is in the house. Brett Marquette. The Drumline's in the house. What's going on? Thanks to all the Drumliners. Karen B. Ford is here. How you doing, Karen? Nice to see you and your big bushy dog. John Trombetta is here. What's going on? That's Cheechbot again. Time for a dram. What's up, Gregor? Scott Pigsley. Escobar Style. Justin Kim. William Edwards. Crafty God. JG, bunch of people coming in now. Black Bourbon Family, raise your drinks up casually. Always got to sing that when I see them. So Black Bourbon Family is going to be celebrating channel anniversary soon. I may or may not be a guest on that. Just a little bit of a tease. Details coming soon. Jason and Brandy. Sorry if you don't want me to say anything, but I'm excited for you guys. So cheers to that. JG saying choo choo choo. Alex Briere's here. Randall Himes, Dan B, Bourbon Baller, and a bunch of other people coming in. So So one thing before we start, I'm sure a lot of you heard the news. Obviously, I follow drumming. We lost a great drummer, a highly underrated drummer, in my opinion. Charlie Watts of the Rolling Stones passed away this week. He was 80 years old. Pretty much the solid backbone of the Rolling Stones for a very, very long time. More than half a century, he was a drummer for Rolling Stone. He wasn't the most, he had a very simple kit always. He wasn't the most flashy drummer, but, kept it steady, solid as they come. But I think I think any of you that's a Rolling Stones fan could appreciate his drumming and appreciate the music that he helped Rolling Stones that have put together for, like I said, for over half a century. So cheers to Charlie Watts and his family. Hopefully you're hanging out with some of the other great drummers up there. So cheers. Little Weller 12 for Mr. Watts. It's been a while since I've had Weller 12. I really miss when this was a $40 bourbon and everybody could find it. $25, $30 bourbon in the beginning. My God, it's just so easy and sweet. And the fact that people pay, hundreds of dollars to get this bottle nowadays, it's the way bourbon has went, It's kind of a double-edged sword here. We have more bourbons and more whiskeys now than ever, and so much variety, but at the same time, stuff gets allocated really hard to get, just like this bottle. Is it worth the hundreds of dollars that people ask for it? Not a chance. Is it a great, just easy sipping, great 12-year-old wheated bourbon? Absolutely. You know, this is, you know, I always like shit on the Van Winkle Lot B. You know, I've done, you know, blind tastings with Weller 12 and Van Winkle Lot B in it. And Weller 12 always beats out Lot B for me. I think the Lot B with the oaky, a little bit of an oakiness to it. I don't know, I guess maybe it's because where it's aged, it doesn't have the sweet that I love in the Weller 12. Which is surprising because I usually like a little bit more balance. But I don't know, there's something about Weller 12. You can see it's down like halfway down the bottle. And I feel like from the beginning when you first have it, you know, when it's up in the neck pour and about the shoulder, you do get that 12-year-old oak presence. But man, right here is such a sweet spot for this stuff. I mean, it's just cherry. It's like cherry Garcia ice cream, intense vanilla, intense cherry, nice little wave of oak, easy sipping weeder. But unfortunately, these damn things are impossible to get these days. Let's see here. Bourbon Wrench joining the ranks of Bonham, Pert, and Joey George. Absolutely, Bourbon Wrench. Let's see here. $200 for Weller 12 is like winning, wiping your butt before you poop. What? Yes. Cheers to Charlie Watts and everyone else who has passion to do what they do for half a century. Yeah, I mean, incredible. Master Drum, what do you think that Weller 12 is better than the Rebel pick? It's a completely different profile. The Rebel pick that we picked out, by the way, a little quick update for you guys awaiting the Rebel picks from the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club. Those are going to be ready probably by the weekend. We're going to release those. The stickers are coming in tomorrow, and once they're set up, they're going to be ready to go. But completely different profile. The Rebel, that Rebel that we picked is like chocolate peanut butter. The Weller 12, this Weller 12 is all cherry, heavy vanilla. I mean, head to head, it just would be your preference of flavor profile. You know, it's like, you know, I like to give Buffalo Trace and like to give, you know, them a lot of shit all the time, as you guys know. But, you know, they do make good whiskey, and they do, you know, they make great bourbons that are very sweet and, you know, pleasing for a lot of people, which is why they're chased so much. It's got a sweeter, easier type of flavor profile, but at the same time, they're just a lot more, I feel, robust types of flavors or flavor profiles out there. But when you're comparing it to another wheater, they're all going to be different. It just generally, you know, I always say there's some clear things for me that I feel like are better than others. You know, like I think I'll take that Rebel over Weller Special Reserve any day of the week. I think that kicks its ass, and people overpay for that. But when it comes to like some really, you know, nice, well-aged bourbons, you know, it just comes to your flavor profile. No one's ever wrong. Just depends on what you like. So, you know, everyone always, you know, says to me, "Oh, do you like this? Do you like that?" I'm like, it's like one or the other. You know, it's hard to like Buffalo Trace stuff more than other stuff because it's so hard to get. So if I say I love this, it'll suck because I can't. It's so hard to get these bottles. So. What's up, Hank Butts? Just saw Weller 12 and awesome. Oh, 150? That's actually not bad. Seen it for way more than that. Not bad at all. He's drinking Glendronach 21 for some reason. Hey, B Sims is here. What's going on? Weller 12 is $3.50 in some stores in Maryland. All right. To start your birthday bourbon fund. Birthday bourbon. Yeah, I don't think that's happening. Did you hear that people, I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard people are already lining up now for that. I don't know if it's true. I think someone told me that already the line has started for the birthday bourbon. I mean, it's August 25th and it comes out September 2nd. That's like, that can't be true. Like anybody in the chat in Louisville that is like looking at this line or passed it by recently that has saw a line already? Because if that's happening, then I don't even know what to say or think anymore. That's crazy. Yeah, that's like a week away. Like, I don't understand. Hank Williams Jr., apparently you walk right in and get it. Hey, what's up, DC? Thanks for coming in. Good evening, everybody. What's up, Jason? Excited for the matchups. Yeah, me too. Absolutely. Hey, Emily James is here. What's up, Butter? Matchup Blue Note 17 versus Winkle Lot B. I don't have any Van Winkle bottles. So I don't have any of the Pappies, and I don't have Old Rip, and I don't have Van Winkle Lot B. I refuse to pay for them, and anytime there's a chance for me to get one, the price is always inflated. And of course, as I always say, I'm 0 for 100,015 in the Ohio State lotteries. So Scott Pigsley with a super chat. Do you think the bourbon boom has caused distilleries to rush out subpar bourbon? I think in some cases, especially in the beginning, but I really feel that there's a lot of good distilleries now doing right by, their whiskey. The ones that you see, like today, like when I reviewed the Terry Bradshaw bourbon, obviously that seemed like a money grab just from a Terry Bradshaw perspective, trying to make that paper, trying to, he's doing that contest on Fox News where you can win $100,000 of his money. Maybe he's trying to recoup some of that. I doubt it's his money, by the way. Anyway, that's a 2-year-old bourbon. Like, why put out a 2-year-old bourbon? If you want a respectable product, at least get a 4-year bourbon out there. I think the ones that are smart about it, wait till it's about 4 years old and they put out, there's exceptions that apply, like Texas or, some of those, really rich, like the really hot climates, Florida, where you can age something faster. There's exceptions to that rule. But for the most part, I always felt like a good distillery should release their stuff about 4 years. So, if you're going to set a week, wouldn't it be easier to buy it off secondary and same as missing work for that long? Yeah, I mean, I would imagine so. But some of these guys are there to sit online, and they can't even get to their car fast enough before they're taking a crotch shot and putting it on secondary. So I think there are a lot of people on that line that are getting it for their own purposes, to enjoy it and to sip it, hopefully. But there's definitely a good amount of people that are on there to flip it. Because I would imagine with the age statement this year being 12 years old, a higher proof, back to what like the 2018 version was, it's going to be a pretty high number to start off with. And the first bottle, second bottle, it's up is always the highest number because they want to set the market and see where it goes. Like the Warehouse C for the Colonel Taylor, the highest I saw was like over $3,000, and now it's back to it finally like kind of came back down to earth. And now it's at about, not that I'm saying it's back down to earth, but $2,000 now, which is still a ridiculous amount of money to pay. But considering it was $3,500 at first and people were paying that, I mean, it tells you a lot about, the FOMO. It's definitely real. Hey, Darrell Stewart's here. Bourbon Bites is here. All right, so I'm going to have my little bit of Weller 12. While we're doing that, let's get into some news stories real quick. Some really cool, exciting stories this week in bourbon. Then we'll get to what pissed me off this week in bourbon, in whiskey, what pissed me off this week, which is always a fun little segment. So first big announcement was this one right here, the Jack Daniel's. So Jack Daniel's announced 10-year-old first age-stated whiskey. And this is coming from them for the first one for a very, very long time. Now, Jack Daniel's goes back all the way to the late 1800s. It's been a very long time since any sort of age-stated whiskey has been released, over 100 years, actually, to be exact. It's really unique to see this 10-year-old expression, which is really cool. According to Jack Daniel's, it's going to be a limited edition offering that will be an annual release every year. So it was developed by master distiller Chris Fletcher. With it being said by the brand, he evolved the distillery's previous age methods by maturing Jack Daniel's iconic Old No. 7 in oak barrels that were relocated through the barrel house to extend the aging process over the past 10 years. So this celebrates their modern day whiskey making while also paying tribute to our founder in history. It's a special time for us all. This plans to be $70 a bottle, becoming available on store shelves in limited numbers starting next month. Official tasting notes, they make mention of dry fig and raisin laced with oak, warm butterscotch along fruit and smoke on the palate. I believe this is coming in at 97 proof as well. So here's a picture of Chris Fletcher with the bottle there. Cool little bottle design. Kind of dig it. It actually looks a little bit like the Five Brothers bottle from Heaven Hill. I don't know if you guys saw that one. Do I have that up here? Oh, no, I stuck it over. Well, it's like the Pikesville bottle. It looks very, very, very similar to that. like the very similar shape. I don't know if it's actually that bottle design, but it looks very similar. Yeah, you guys digging that one? I really feel like Jack Daniel's has been killing it with their, and not to mention they have another special release coming out very soon, which is the Coy Hill special release, which is a hazmat single barrel. So the Coy Hill. So we had the rye last year, which everyone went bananas for. Now this year we have the Coy Hill. I think it's going to be 140 plus proof on this single barrel. It was aged in this Coy Hill warehouse where it gets a lot of different what you call variations in temperature. Proof went sky high. It was really hot up there, and we got a 140 hazmat Tennessee whiskey coming out as well. So a lot of big things coming from Jack Daniel's, and I'm excited because if I haven't mentioned it already, Chris Fletcher and Lexi Phillips, both master distillers. Master Distiller Chris Fletcher, Assistant Master Distiller Lexi Phillips will be on the channel September 22nd. So I'm hoping to have one of those 10 years, and maybe I'm trying to see if I could get a sample of that hazmat Coy Hill to sip along with them, and we'll see how it is. We'll ask them some questions. It's an exciting time, to have them on the channel. It's a really cool month in September. So yeah, I want that 140 proofer, absolutely. I love how Jack Daniel's was strongly disliked by bourbon drinkers like 2 years ago. Now we're all excited for their new releases. Yeah, I totally agree. I could not agree more, Cliff. Everyone go subscribe to Bourbon Bites. They've done an absolutely phenomenal job with the, it kind of started with the heritage releases. Those heritage releases were coming out. I mean, before that, yeah, you had the single barrels and the barrel proof, which I still feel like a lot of people weren't really paying attention to because everyone's so used to grabbing the old number 7. But I kind of put that in that, kind of put their Tennessee whiskey a little bit on the upper shelves a little bit more. And then they started the special releases. I mean, yeah, they had the Sinatras and they had all these other releases, but, they were different proof points. Nothing super distinctive, but the Heritage release, the Jack Daniel's release, this Coy Hill, the Jack Daniel's Rye release, the Coy Hill. I mean, it's all, I think they're absolutely killing it. Now they're coming out with an age-stated bourbon. I think Chris Fletcher is the right guy at the right time for the distillery. So kudos to them. Let's see here. Let's go to what's next. Oh, this is kind of a fun story for all of you guys out in Denver. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but the Breckenridge, which is a Colorado distillery, has partnered with the Broncos. They released limited edition orange and blue Broncos bourbon blends. So they released these limited edition in honor of Breckenridge bourbon being named the official hometown bourbon of the Broncos, which I think is a smart move on Breckenridge's part. You kind of make these partnerships with stadiums or with certain specific teams to kind of build your brand. So let's see here. They're available in Denver, actually, as of, let's see here, available in stores today, and this was posted on August 24th. So as of yesterday, these are available now in Colorado. By scanning a QR code on the back of the label, fans 21 and older can vote for their favorite blend and enter for a chance to win prizes. So it's 2 specific blends. They don't really say, what the different blends are, but, Breckenridge is pretty cool with blending. I think we're seeing this, across stadiums and across football stadiums, a little bit more across the country. The last time I was at, last time I saw the Mets play, I think they partnered with Jim Beam. So I think there's a Jim Beam partnership going on there. I think I saw Maker's Mark in another park. So you're getting you're starting to see bourbon and whiskey come more into play at sporting events, which I think, could be kind of smart or not so smart, but it's like the same price for buying a friggin', $40 beer, probably. Jason, who should our Bengals pair up with? The Bengals. I don't know. I mean, New Riff is right there. Why not try to get New Riff? That'd be pretty cool. New Riff Bengals blend. At least it'll be better than the team. I'm excited for football season, though. I'm excited. Fall's around the corner. Love it. Can't wait. Hey, what's up, Independent Joe? I see people writing "Go Yankees." Or I know the Mets were tied. God, the Mets are so fucking bad right now. Dear Lord, they're so they can't. Like everyone is messaging me. Hey, the Mets can't hit. Yeah, I know. It's like saying water's wet. They can't hit. I know. They're terrible right now. They're swinging at everything. They're trying to do too much. It's awful. Cheers to all getting into their Weller tonight. See y'all in line later again when we all try to get the next bottle, and this one runs low again. Timmer. Jason Ardbeg versus the world, says Ben Sacro. All right. He's gotten the Ardbeg tonight. All right. Let's go into the next one. I'm really well, this isn't Ardbeg, but I'm very excited about this release. For all you Pete heads, this is coming out of Lefroy. Lefroy is releasing let's see, what is this? The Lefroy I think it's pronounced Carchus. I think that's how you say it. This is the Carchus is an annual release created by John Campbell, the Lefroy distillery manager, to celebrate friends of Lefroy. Carchus is Gaelic for friendship. Began in 1994 for fans and followers. This is the 2021 Pedro Jimenez Cask Edition. It's triple matured. First, it's aged in American oak, ex-bourbon barrels, then in quarter casks. Finally, it's aged in European oak hogsheads containing PX sherry. Bottled at cask strength, 58.9% ABV. Available for purchase on the brand's website and in U.S. stores for an MSRP of $100. So, yeah, for any of you Pete heads out there that love Lefroy, that is a bottle I'm definitely going to be looking for, because that PX and Pete, I love it together. Very, very excited for it. Yeah, DC, I want that. Yeah, dude, I'm all over it. Is Octomore still coming out in October? Yes, Octomore and the Black Art will be released in October. Yep, for sure. Yeah, I'm all over. Yeah, it does. It looks like cranberry juice. It's so probably so much sherry influence got into that bottle. I mean, crazy. Let's go to one that I'm not. I don't know if I'm excited about this. It's another toasted bottle, but it's coming back. We haven't seen it in a while. It's the Mikters Toasted Barrel Bourbon. So no more rye. This is the Mikters Bourbon here. We haven't had it for 3 years. So it'll be shipping this September out to stores. They first launched it in 2014, and we followed up with releases in 2015 and 18. Haven't seen one since. They decided to use some of their bourbon stocks for this toasted offering, so all the Mikter supporters could enjoy it. Mikter's Toasted Bourbon uses the Mikter Small Batch Kentucky Straight Bourbon as a base. Then the whiskey is transferred into a second barrel made of 18-month air-dried wood that is toasted for additional aging. Now, the bourbon in here is only 45.7% ABV. So we're looking at, just over 90 proof for this. And it will sell for an MSRP of $100 a bottle. So just like most things with Mikters, man, you get me so excited about a release, and then I see the proof. Not a 90 proofer, basically a 90 proof bourbon that's toasted, that's going to sell on secondary for God knows how fucking much. Now, I've gotten, in my opinion, I think rye does much better with toasted than bourbon does. I've had a lot more ryes that have been toasted, have been phenomenal over bourbons that I thought were great, that were toasted. So I think it really depends on what you have, but I think I had the 2018 release. Someone sent me a sample and I wasn't a fan. Luckily I do get samples from Mikters, so I'm hoping to try a bottle of this and do a review. We'll see how it comes out, but yeah, it's one of those that, man, you wish it was a little bit of a high proof, at least 100 proof, but I know they're probably trying to stretch it out a little bit and get more bottles out of that. They know it's going to sell for a shit ton of money. So yeah, $500 says Hank Williams. I would probably imagine so, especially in the beginning. Low proof, $100s and no age statement. Yep. That Basil Hayden toast review was good. I ain't buying that bottle. Oh, thanks, Robert. Yeah. Only fans of Basil Hayden or people that don't want to taste whiskey would like that bottle. It's like the bottle you give someone where they want to look like they're drinking whiskey, but they don't really want to taste anything. That's the Basil Hayden toast. Yeah, upscale Basil Hayden toast. Yeah, that's basically what it is. You know what? If I do get a sample, it'd be interesting to put those head to head, even though the Basil Hayden has brown rice in it over rye. I mean, somebody left a comment in the video. You took the most interesting part about Basil Hayden, which is the high rye mash bill, and you got rid of it and you put rice in it. It's like, what are you doing? Oh shit. Yeah, Basil Hayden blows. I think rye can handle that oak a bit better. Yeah, I agree, Lito. There's something about toasted ryes that I think just handle the toast a little bit more, than bourbon. So, all right. I think we have one more story, and that is, this is coming out of Texas. I'm excited for this release if it ever, if it ever becomes more available. But I've talked about Still Austin out of Texas before. What a great distillery they are. The amazing bourbons and whiskeys that they're crafting. They just released this, which is a straight wheat whiskey. It's called 100%. It's a Winter Hawk wheat. So right now, this is only available via online lottery beginning Tuesday, August 17th. So that already passed. But the new whiskey expression is made of 100% Winter Hawk wheat, sourced exclusively from Texas farmers. The bourbon was aged for 3 years and 4 months. The end result yielded a total of 600 bottles. So not a lot. They will retail for $100 each. Whiskey lovers can enter into an online lottery for the chance to purchase a bottle by visiting the Still Austin website from Tuesday, August 17th through Monday, August 30th. So you still have some time to get in on that if you want. Still Austin will notify all winners on Tuesday, August 31st. So, yeah, I mean, good on Still Austin, bringing another, again, Texas source grains. They do everything grain to glass, local, great distillery. I'm curious if anybody in Texas is interested in that one or has already entered the lottery. Let's see. Wow, I will win in Texas tomorrow. I bet that's funky, says DC. Yeah, man, something that's 100% wheat aged in Texas. That's probably pretty funky. I would definitely think that might be a little funky. But Still Austin has really impressed. The bourbon that I tried, the cast strength, was probably the closest thing I've ever had to an Elijah Craig barrel proof coming out of Texas. So it's really impressive stuff. Let's see here. Mikters is the real entry whiskey, except for those damn limited releases. Wait, maybe all the noobs are scooping them up as I hide my 10 years. Y'all don't see my hypocrisy. That's what happens. My wife, who is truly a bourbon noob, says Sean Dent. Subscribe to Whiskey Nose. Yes, everyone follow the Cheech Bot. Appreciate it. And guys, if you haven't yet, please hit the like button and also subscribe if you haven't yet. Really appreciate all the support, especially from the patrons. And I think the Intense Drummers, a bunch of them should have gotten your curved bourbon glasses, I think, pretty recently. If not, they're on the way. And then I think soon we're going to be going up to the, the Legendary Drummers to do your rewards, including your t-shirts, your glasses, and your limited Mash and Drum flasks. So keep on the lookout for that. And then eventually we'll get up to the Epic Drummers. Epic Drummers have some cool. Epic Drummers get a choice of actually to get one of these tasting trays. I forgot. I think the other thing is a cigar kit as well. So yeah, Epic Drummers, you have some really cool stuff coming your way too. So yeah, if you want to join Patreon and have access to some of these rewards, just you join Patreon. The link is down in the subscription. Little $3 a month, and you also get access to the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club picks. Like I said, we have the Rebel and the Ezra coming out real soon, followed by the Old Elks, followed by our 2 11-year-old bullet picks that are freaking stunners. I actually forgot about those. I forgot we picked those way back in April. And I think they're on their way or coming soon. Then we got 2 incredible Driftless Glen picks. One of them I think could take out Stag Jr., the bourbon, and the rye is. I'm not saying it's man. I would have to try that against the Wilderness Trail pick we have coming up too, but stunner whiskeys. So we have a lot of great picks coming out soon. So we're already starting to plan for next year. I think we only have one more pick to do remaining this year. And then that's it. We're starting to plan for next year. We're starting to look at Old Forester. We're starting to look at Maker's Mark. We're starting to look at a Remus pick, starting to do some different things for next year already lined up. So because of you guys, we're getting great access to some really, really great and unique barrel picks coming up next year. So cheers to that. All right, let's get into some head-to-heads. The Weller 12 is actually a nice little beginner pour here. So, oh yeah, Brian Brennicky, you guys helped pick it. Tammy and Brian both helped pick picked our bullet picks. Let's see here. Yeah, we're trying to get into a Four Roses pick for sure. It's a little bit tough to get in there right now. If I sign up for the top, can you guarantee me a Wilderness Trail rye pick? Yeah, you'll definitely get one. We don't have a ton of epic drummers, so there's some spots available if you want to get up in that tier. Mash and Drum, for that Still Austin contest, you have to be able to pick it up at the distillery. Yeah, unfortunately. But hey, if you know anyone in Texas, they can maybe mule it for you. It's a way to do it. All right, Pop 'em, No Watch 'em is in the house. So I announced Blendageddon last week. You know what? I'm going to play the trailer again real quick for you guys who missed it last week for Blendageddon 4. I've already started getting some entries being sent to me, which is freaking amazing. People asking me questions about it. In case you missed it, I'm going to play the trailer right here again for you guys. If you have any questions, we can address them after the trailer. But for right now, here is the setup for Blendageddon 2021. 20 more entries than last year. If I say the taste that's in there, you're gonna know exactly which blend it is. I mean, it is so rich in flavor. It's amazing stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Sunday Evening Scotch versus Donald Rance for the World Whiskey Blend Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of Blendageddon, the World Whiskey category, Donald Rance. We have Andy Gray, Anthony McKeever, Michael Cook, James E., Ben Compton, John Gresham, Jeff Perkins, Jason Coates, Richie Z, Old Charter, that is Matthew Porter, Mr. Perfect, and Wise Guy Whiskey Guy. And you know what else, guys? We have a winner. We have a winner. I have chosen this. So whoever the fuck number 10 is just won Blendageddon, and we're about to find out who won. No way! No way! The winner of Blendageddon 2020, no joke, Matt Porter ADHD Whiskey. Oh yeah, you guys pumped now? You still pumped? You still pumped for Blendageddon? So this is Blendageddon going to be accepting entries by September 15th. I'm actually going to be going away September 16th for a long weekend. Actually taking a trip to Maine with my lady. Haven't been there yet. So by the time I want to get all the entries in before I go. This way I have them. You know, if you have a late entry, you know, if they sit in my mailbox or whatever, that's fine. But I'd like to get most of them in by the 15th. I've already had people messaging me where to send their blends. Already got a bunch of stuff coming in already. I think one thing I forgot to mention about Blendageddon is to come up with a fun name for your blend, because I kind of like to put like the fun name against each other in the when I do the brackets and see who takes on who. Donald Rance, obviously last year, who is he's in the chat, the legend himself, Master Yoda, is in the chat. He won the World Whiskey Blend Contest. I mean, narrowly beating out Sunday Evening Scotch, Mike Porter. And then obviously ADHD Whiskey came through with just a ridiculous blend. That was so freaking good. And I don't know if you guys is Matt Porter forced to defend his title? I told him that he should, and I think he is going to, because if you guys follow Pop 'em Don't Watch Him on Instagram, Pop 'em Don't Watch Him posted this today on Instagram: shots fired.
The announcement has been made. Mash and drum. It's coming. You can smell it. You can feel it. The goosebumps on the skin. The big lights in the arena. September 29th, the show of shows. The showcase of the immortals. Welcome to Blendageddon 4. Matt Porter, you may be the champion. You may be the world's best whiskey taster. But brother, you don't know what's coming for you. September 29th, do you have what it takes? Do you have the guts to grasp glory from the jaws of defeat? Every contender that thinks they have a shot, Pop 'em is coming. And I ask every one of you, what you gonna do, brother, when Pop 'em's Bayou Brew comes for you?
So Pop 'em, don't watch him. Mr. Troy Kristen down there in the Bayou is making his Pop 'em's Bayou Brew. So that's going to be the name of his blend. He's calling out Matt Porter. Apparently Matt had a response video. I haven't seen that one yet. And DC, shots fired. Going to be weird when that dude goes out in the first round against my Dicko Magic blend. Oh, see, this is the best part of Blendageddon right now. It's all you guys just going at each other, crafting just unique blends. I feel like everyone pushes each other. It's amazing. Yeah, we do. We need Jim Ross calling this contest. So what I'm gonna do is what I didn't mention is I'm gonna ask for a couple of volunteers, some other whiskey tubers. I'm gonna hopefully get that same blend. And ship the samples to a couple of whiskey tubers and get their take on which one they think is the best one, for the final two. And then I'll have those guys on the channel, and whoever's going to be able to do it or want to be part of it, and all of us together collectively will come up with a champion for Blendageddon 4. So it's going to be a great time this year. Again, 2 categories. You're allowed one entry per category. There's an American whiskey category, and there's a world whiskey. You could put anything in there. You could do Irish, you could do Scotch, you can do Indian whiskey, Japanese whiskey, whatever you want to do. American whiskey blend, you could do, rye, bourbons, corn whiskey, as long as it's made here in the States. That could be part of your blend. So get creative, and good luck, everybody. That's right. I got to have some fun with it. Yep, this is gonna be good. Yeah, I'm very looking forward to it. You got to find it. Jason, is there a Malort category? Listen, I said if you guys want to send in funky, nasty blends, you can do it. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold it against you. To get it. So, oh wait, ADHD whiskey, I think, just sent me it. Oh boy. Oh, here it is. He basically said, "Who the fuck is that guy?" Whiskey Eyes. Hey, Whiskey Eyes, Leon and Trisha. New channel, guys. Go check them out. Excited about Blendageddon. Oh my, so ADHD Whiskey's response was, "Who the fuck is that guy?" That's amazing. All right. Let's get into these head-to-heads tonight, guys. Let me get a big sip of water. I gotta help my palate here. I got the big guns out tonight. All right. Oh, thank you so much for the super chats, guys. Really appreciate it. All right. So first up tonight was an interesting one. So I polled my patrons today, and they asked me to, or I asked them, I should say, to come up with some creative head-to-head matchups. And they did. They came up with a few goodies. I had a couple ideas on my own, but we've got some good ones in there. Once we get through a few of these, I'll ask the chat if you have any ideas from head-to-head matchups that you want to see. But we'll get to that, so don't put them in the chat just yet. And then we'll see which ones I could do. I got a lot of requests to do the new Stag 16. I don't have that bottle yet, so can't quite do the new Stag 16 yet. But what I did think was a really, really interesting idea was Rock Hill Farms, the 100 proof single barrel complete unicorn from Buffalo Trace, against this beautiful $28 100 proof Cooper's Craft bottle from Brown-Forman. This has become, as you guys know, one of my favorites. Rock Hill Farms. A lot of people love this. A lot of people hunt it. A lot of people overpay for it like crazy. So let's put them next to each other, see what we get. Sean Dent, $10 super sticker. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate that. ADHD Whiskey is under the influence of the all-powerful super chat cricket. Yeah, that was pretty savage. Savage response. Oh, shit. Okay. All right, let's go to the notes here. So, I mean, I'll tell you what I think, but basically what I want to do is kind of break down these bottles, basically on what I think is good about each one, what I don't like about each one, and, do I think, what's worth the price here. You guys know I'm a big fan of Cooper's Craft. I definitely think it's a great bourbon for $28. The Rock Hill Farms is one of those bourbons I don't drink too often. This is my only bottle I have. I've had it for a good amount of time. It's got, it's halfway down. It's opened up quite nicely, I should say. So in the Cooper's Craft, yeah, black cherry, oak, cinnamon, a little bit of chocolate as well. So for Cooper's Craft, they chisel and char the barrel. So they chisel the inside of the barrel, so the bourbon inside actually gets more of that, gets a little bit more deeper into the grooves of the wood. And if you look at the color, the Cooper's Craft is slightly darker than the Rock Hill, which is interesting. Now Rock Hill, I mean, I don't know what the age is now, but apparently it's supposed to be a 6, 7, 8-year-old bourbon. I would imagine the Cooper's Craft is younger than that. That's why they chisel and char it, for it to come off a little bit, probably older than it is. Plus, Brown-Forman, they use heat cycled warehouses to age their stuff as well. So that kind of accelerates the process a little bit. According to a tour back in March, Elmer T. Lee will totally replace Rock Hill Farms. Well, I mean, so does that mean there's going to be a 100 proof variation of Elmer T. Lee, or are they just going to get rid of the 100 proof mash bill 2 overall? Did they say that? Aiden, what's your fave pasta? You're Italian. I know you have one. For my grandmother, she used to make me. There's a pasta called cavatelli. That's my favorite. So cavatelli is like kind of like this long pasta. It's kind of like folded up a little bit. And I always love when she used to make that stuff homemade, and I love that pasta. That's probably still my favorite pasta to this day is cavatelli. Because like the sauce and stuff gets like caught like right inside the cavatelli, and you take a bite. Oh, I love it. I'm like drooling just thinking about it. Ziti or gnocchi. Oh, we got people in the chat. You guys, what are your favorite pastas? I think people have no more Rock Hill Farms and Warehouse according to their tour guide. Really? Oh, well, I hope that doesn't get around too much, and everyone's going to be buying it up if they can, paying. It's going away. You got to keep the bottle. What's up, Rob Shields? Linguine and clams. Oh, gnocchi. Man, you guys like the heavy gnocchi shit. My goodness. So true to Buffalo Trace form, way more cherry on this, but like a candy cherry. Cooper's Craft has way more of an oak presence. Oak, dark brown sugars. Rock Hill Farms is just all, at least, remember, these are single barrel, so this one is just really coming off with like cherry, lots of vanilla. What's that other set I'm picking up in here? Oh, I'm actually getting a little bit of like butterscotch, a little bit in that one. I mean, on the nose, I definitely like the Rock Hill Farms. I think if you like an oakier profile, the Cooper's Craft will do the trick. Rock Hill Farms is just definitely more candy. But let's go to the palate. The palate, I think, is where Cooper's Craft might be able to give it a run for its money. Let's try the Coopers. There's the legend. There's the winner. The Blendageddon champion, the world's top whiskey taster. I mean, ADHD whiskey is just like, he's like the Michael Phelps of fucking like whiskey tube. He just wins awards, puts them around his neck, stacks them. He's got trophies along his wall. He's got, you know, I don't know. The guy fucking probably farts cinnamon. I mean, everything he does is magical. I mean, I can't even, it's crazy. How is that sauce put in there? You know, the sauce. So the sauce goes in the pasta. It goes right inside, and you take a bite, and boom, it's there. Orecchiette. That's a good call, Greg D. That might be my second favorite, is Orecchiette. That's a really good one. Rigatoni is probably third. I love, like, sometimes you just want the big pasta, the rigatonis, for sure. Oh, cavatappi, that's a great one. Oh, that's, yeah, great for mac and cheese. Jimmy the Cricket. It's the source. That's right. It's the sauce. Oh, farfalle. Those are the bow tie pastas. They work out really good. Oh, Fra Diavolo sauce and truffle. Oh my god, dude, you're just now I'm friggin' starving. Who wants pasta right now? I want pasta so bad. All right, let's sip the what did I sip? The Cooper? I don't even remember. We'll go back to it. Yeah, Cooper's Craft is just rich, good proof, oak. Little hint of that like banana bread that you get with like a Brown Forman product. I'm getting some cherry on the palate here too. Nice long finish, very well rounded. Just such a damn good bourbon for $28. It's ridiculous. ADHD is listening while putting these children to bed for the first of 25 times tonight. Hey, we got David Jennings in the house. What's up, Rare Bird? 101 is here. Oh, DC. Yep, that's right. I just want garlic bread. Preaching the choir, man. Love garlic bread. All right, let's go to the Rock Hill Farms. I'll need one more sip of that one. Yeah, Rock Hill Farms is more candy, but to me, it's actually thinner than Cooper's Craft, this 100 proofer. Maybe it's because it's taking more of that oak profile. Just this one seems a little bit thicker on the palate, a little bit more syrupy than the Rock Hill. The Rock Hill is definitely sweeter and probably more pleasing to a lot of people that want to, try whiskey. As with anything with Buffalo Trace, it's like that candy bomb. But to me, the Cooper's overall is more interesting. There's just more going on. Got a way longer finish too, for the Coopers as well. Yeah, Rock Hill Farms drinks like a typical Buffalo Trace. It's a lot of sweet, a lot of flavor up front, good sweetness kick right on the sides of your palate. And then for 100 proofer, man, this thing drinks like a 90 proofer. I think the Weller 12 had a longer finish than that does. That's crazy. But that's probably why people love it so much. They could drink 100 proof bourbon and not feel anything. But overall, to me, the Cooper's Craft is actually a little bit more interesting. It's got more oak, got a little bit more going on, a little bit of the banana flavor, which, you know, some people might not like. But I think it's still overall, it's a fuller tasting bourbon. I love the oak. Way more of a spicy finish than the Rock Hill. Again, the Rock Hill is a single barrel. I have had some that have better finishes, but this one in particular, not really bringing a finish too much at all. JJB over Rock Hill Farms all damn day. Is that John J. Bowman you're talking about? John J. Bowman? I agree. John J. Bowman. Actually, ADHD Whiskey, speaking of John J. Bowman, ADHD Whiskey just posted a review of it today. I did a review on it a while back on how I think not only is it a good alternative to Blanton's and Mash Bill 2 or any of the other, you know, Buffalo Trace products, but it's more interesting. They put it through a pot still. I think it's creamier, it's spicier, way more interesting stuff going on in the palate than Rock Hill Farm. So, but let's see here. How many products does Buffalo Trace carry? Oh, man, that's a lot. I mean, well, they're owned by Sazerac, but we talk about Buffalo Trace. You have the Weller lineup. You know, you have the, let's see, Weller, the Weller lineup, the Benchmarks, all the Mash Bill 2s, Elmer, Rock Hill Farms, Blanton's, and also the Forgotten Son in the group, which is the, what do you call it? Hancock's. You have Sazerac Rye, you have a Stag Junior. Yeah, I said Benchmarks. You have regular Buffalo Trace, the Ancient Ages. I mean, it goes on for days. All the Colonel Taylors. Then you have the Antique Collection. You have all the Colonel Taylors, the special releases, the kosher editions. I mean, they have a lot of whiskey that they're making. So, but unfortunately, everyone buys it up, so there's not enough for the rest of us. All right, so for me, the winner in this, I got to give it to Cooper's Craft. Honestly, I just think it's more. If you don't like oak, if you rather not have oak, then you'll probably like the Rock Hill Farms better. But apparently, this shit is going away. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. That'll be an interesting turning of events if that does happen. All right, let's see. Underrated is good Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit. Absolutely. William Edwards, love seeing the shelf crush overhyped, overpriced secondary bottles. Yeah, me too. Oh, yes, and Fireball. Don't forget Sazerac makes Fireball. Adam, San Houston 14 versus Turkey 17. Nose is almost spot on. Palate is different. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, everybody definitely hit the like button if you haven't yet. Really appreciate it. Yeah, CC is 100 is a solid pour, even better at sub 30. Absolutely. Let's see. 2 Coopers sealed. Got you, bro. Send it. Okay. Let's put those aside. All right. So next one up. Which one did I want to do? Oh, this one will be interesting. Okay. We are going to do. Actually, you know what? I think I want to try to do this one blind. See which one I like better. Oh, I have 2. Should have 2. Yeah, I have 2 of these. All right, perfect. You know, when the glasses have like the labels on them, I don't want to mix up because then I'll be able to tell. So this will be fun. Eagleware 17. I only have a wee bit left there. Eagleware 17 versus the new Remus Repeal Reserve. Number 5. So I actually did this comparison on my Patreon only live stream, and I thought it actually came out. It was an interesting comparison, but I did want to do it blind. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put. I brought my stickers out just in case I did want to do something blind. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put. Let's see. Do this. Put Eagle Rare there, and we'll put the Remus here. And then what we'll do is we'll shuffle them up, mix them around, and see what comes out on top. So you have this bottle, this Remus Repeal. This is the newest release of the Remus Repeal Reserve series. We're looking at 16, 15, and 13-year-old bourbons in there. And this is the Eagle Rare 17. This is actually 18 years old. It's the 2020 release. So it was actually 18-year-old whiskey in here that sells for, normally you're looking anywhere from, I don't know, 1,200 to, actually, I'm probably undervaluing it. I think I usually see it well over 2,000 for an Eagle Rare 17. Man, that's almost done. Gonna have to do a bottle kill night with that thing. All right, so I'm gonna mix these up here. Let's see. Hey, Old Man Joe's here. What's going on? Oh, Chef Jason Cueto says it's not even a fair comparison. So, are you saying that one of these is a clear, definitive winner? Jason, I'm just curious. Okay. Okay, I'm going to mix them down here so I don't know. I don't want to see what's what. Okay. All right, so I have two here. I'm going to mix them up again, even more up here. No idea what's in what glass here. Let's check it out. Richie Z says 1,200 to 3,000. T Hut says no need to blind them, Jason. You could tell the two apart a mile away. Remus Repeal 5 all day. Okay. He says clear winner. The Remus. Oh, wow. People saying Remus Repeal clear winner over Eagle Rare 17. Okay. Okay. All right. So far off the nose, I am leaning on this one. So nose here. Very sweet. Vanilla. Some sweet tobacco going on in here. Getting like Big League Chew, like grapey Big League Chew, which would make me think Eagle Rare maybe. Michael Leogata says false. Rigo Rocha says, I'll buy the rest of your Eagle Rare 17. All right, the nose here. Wow, this is chocolate. A little bit of nuttiness there. Yeah, I'm getting the orange spice. I'm thinking that could be the Remus. Wow, this one has so much more depth of flavor than this one here. Hank Williams says Eagle incoming. Okay. Wow, these noses, I think when I tried them head to head earlier, the noses were, farther apart than I thought. Now that I'm doing them blind, they're actually closer than I thought they were on the nose. I think the big distinction here will be the palate. One is a little bit sweeter, but still has got like really nice balance of oak and sweet tobacco. I love like the grapey, sweet tobacco oak I'm getting on this one. But I love the deeper, rich oak and also the little bbit of like a butterscotch and orange spice I'm getting on this one. So the noses are both really, really nice. They're very different. But I would say I would give the nod to this one because it's actually just a little bit more, there's a little bit more going on. I think it's a little bit more powerful. All right, so let's try this one. Mets are down 3-2, bases loaded, 2 out, bottom of ninth. The bottom of the ninth. ADHD Jiminy Cricket. Need a co-host to mix Glens. My current host seems to be quite upset with my presence as of late. All right, so that's good. Ooh, more of the oak, sweet tobacco, the cherry grape note, a little bit of chocolate on that one too. It's got a nice little spice to it. Nice little lingering spice. Good oak. All right, this has me curious now. Man, that is It's so just it's candy. This is second sip, it kind of falls flat, unfortunately. Man, but that first sip was delicious. All right, let's go to this one here. God, they're so close. That's crazy. You're talking about a $3,000 bottle, $2,000 bottle versus a $90 bottle, and it's that close. Holy crap. This one has a way longer finish on it. A lot more cinnamon. Just the chocolate hit I'm getting here. Man, it's got that little bit of the butter pecan note going on. Pasta salsa fresh raviolis for the world. Dude, I love fresh raviolis. BT says ER17. What's up, Chris Garza? Nice to see you, man. MSRP on both of them is virtually identical. So, yeah. MSRP on Eagle Rare 17 is supposed to be what? 110, 120 bucks. So MSRP wise, they're not that far apart. All right, let's go to this one. This is tough. Man, this is a lot closer. I really thought that this would hammer the Eagle Rare 17. It's closer than I thought it would be. I thought this would actually be a really big standout, but it's actually whichever one both of these are actually drinking really nicely right now. I still think this one has the finish on this one is what's winning me over. This one is great, but after a couple more sips, it kind of lacks. And that's generally what I think of the Eagle Rare 17, which is why I wasn't a huge fan of it. I think the first couple sips are great, but I don't know. We'll find out what these is. Let me take one more sip of this one. All right. Yeah, it's definitely this one. So Remus takes it. Remus took it. The Remus, I think it's the high rye that just helps it. It just has a little bit more spice to it. It's damn good. The Eagle Rare 17 did way better than I thought it would. I really expected this to kind of flounder a little bit, and it actually held true going head to head with these. Man, I think the Eagle Rare. Yeah, so I think John Kine said it best. The Eagle Rare is sweeter but thinner. Russell Reserve is more full-bodied and rye forward. So, and I think that's the difference. That's what stands out to me. The Remus comes in, and you have, I don't know, it just seems it's a little bit thicker and richer, and then it also has the high rye mash bill that just makes it more interesting on the palate. The Eagle Rare, on the other hand, as good as it is, and like I said, this came off a lot better in this tasting than I thought it would. It really made it a tough decision. But it just goes to show you how good some of these whiskeys that are coming out now are, that are available, versus some of this stuff that's so highly allocated that people overpay for. This is kind of why I want to do this comparison. But the Euro 17, it does. It's just it's sweeter, and it's definitely a little bit thinner. I mean, yeah, I'm like, finding this at MSRP is amazing. It's a really good buy. It's a delicious bourbon. But unfortunately, we just don't have the chance to get this at MSRP all the time. Oh God, so close. But yeah, I would give it to the Remus. If this was available and on the shelf for like 120, or just a special release that you can get multiples of these, or actually find them, even a one per customer type deal where you can actually buy these every year, it's a definite yes. I mean, it's really, really good. It's the stupid, it's the whole markup thing that makes you kind of like not like it. But man, this was really, really close. But it just goes to show you how good this Remus 5 is. Unreal stuff. Let's see. What was the price difference again? Well, the Eagle Rare, 17 retail, you're looking at 110, 120 bucks, I think. I think they upped the price a little bit. At least that was last year. The Remus retails, this is 90. So $90 bottle versus 120. But normally when you see Eagle Rare 17, especially if it's laying around in the store, if you see it on the shelf in the store, it's probably in that $2,000 to $3,000 range, and that's generally what you see it for, unfortunately. Yeah, $20 difference retail, Aaron C. Yeah, totally. $20 difference retail, yet the Eagle Rare 17 is so coveted and so overpriced most of the time. You have a really nice, viable option right here. I mean, this is probably the closest thing I've ever had to Eagle Rare 17. It's just delicious. So, good job, Remus. Shit. Really, really good. All right. I need some water here. Lisa Graham just became a drumliner. Thanks so much for joining in. Remus came to Ohio, now gone. Yeah, it was gone pretty quick. Let's see here. Still trying to find the Remus. I don't know if the Remus went everywhere yet. Oh, you want me to try to blend them? I'll blend them. These are the two, right? Yep. I'm gonna blend these and let them sit. All right. All right. So, Remus. Hey, Live Wire Whiskey's in the house. What's going on? You guys going on after tonight? After me? Let me know. Age statements don't mean a thing. Yeah, that's a big misnomer. So anyone that's watching that's just getting into bourbon or whiskey, age statements, if they're all around the same age, really, they don't mean as much as you think it does. Generally speaking, of course, not always, but generally, if a bourbon is in that 7, 8 to maybe 12, 13 year range, I feel like that's the sweet spot for bourbon. I mean, I know there's a lot of leeway in there, but that's really where bourbon thrives. You start getting to the 17, 20, 25-year-old bourbons, they could definitely come off very, very oaky and kind of just take away the sweetness a little bit. Some people like that. It really just, again, it depends on what you like. But my point being, just because a bourbon says it's 25 years old or older, it's been aging for so long, doesn't make it automatically better or more coveted, or you should pay more for it. Because, I've had plenty of bourbons that were over 20 years old that were shit. They were over oaked and they just didn't have any balance. All the sweetness was gone. So it just goes to show you like how to, you just need to just be mindful of that. Just because a bourbon says, like Heaven Hill released their 27-year-old bourbon, was it last year? It was a special release. It was a high price tag. I think it was like $1,200 retail, $1,300 retail. I had a sip of that thing and it was awful. Not awful, but it was just way on the over oak side. So yeah, it happens. Sometimes older is worse. Case in point, ER17 versus Russell Reserve 5. Well, but that's the thing, though. I think you can't put Buffalo Trace in that category. Even though the Pappy Van Winkle 23, I think, is way over oaked and just like musty and gross. It's also a low proof, and they just kind of kill that release, that bourbon, that Pappy Van Winkle 23. If you guys go back and I put Pappy Van Winkle 23 in a blind tasting and it came in dead last, it wasn't even a thought. It was dead last. It's one of those that the proof's too low, it's too old, and it's just too funky. I think the 15 is the perfect spot for Pappy Van Winkle. some of the 20s I've had have been pretty good. Some of them are vanilla bombs, and some of them are just a little bit, you know, they're getting to that point where it's a little bit over oaked. But most of the time, Buffalo Trace high age stuff still is sweet. That Eagle Rare 17 was drinking like candy. Buffalo Trace has this magical way of taking whatever whiskey they're aging and just keeping that sweetness to it. It's amazing. I don't know how they do it, but it just feels like the longer they age it, the sweeter it gets. It's like an intense sweetness. So I think that's why people covet Buffalo Trace so much. It's like fat kid candy in a fucking bottle. All right. It became Luxardo cherry syrup. The cherry in that is so intense. I think the cherry from the Remus and the cherry from the Eagle Rare 17 combine to form a mega cherry. It's like my favorite, like, growing up cartoon was Voltron, and all the lions formed to make one big Voltron robot. This is like 5 different cherries combined to make one mega cherry, and that is what it's so this is like if you get those Luxardo cherries to make cocktails with and you just eat the syrup, that's what that tastes like. Oh my god, I would want to get another bottle of Eagle Rare 17 just so I could blend it with a full bottle of Remus and just drink that. You talk about a cherry bomb. That is a cherry bomb. I'm saving that shit. That's good. Woo, that's good. I'll leave that right there. Let's see. Octomore is a great proof that age isn't everything. Yeah, Octomore for sure. Octomore, they released those about 4, 5, 6 years old. Sometime I think 2 years old. Isn't that like pretty young shit they put in there too? All really, really just amazing stuff. Hey, Who Flung Dung is here. What's going on, man? Independent Joe is here. What's up, Big Vic? Independent Joe is here, guys. Newer channel on the Whiskey Tube. Go check out Independent Joe. This guy has a killer collection. Definitely go check him out. I think Remus 3 is the fire. Yeah, Remus 3 actually drinks like cherry Coke to me. It's delicious. Well, that's what I'm sending in for Blendageddon. Nobody can use that shit. No, you can't do that. All right. Next blend. A blend that was next matchup. A matchup that was universally voted on. Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Rye versus Mikter's Barrel Strength Rye. So that's what we're gonna do next. Let's get that one there. Let's get where's the Jack Daniel? I know I'll pull out the Jack Daniels. Is it hiding? Oh, there it is, back there. All right. Whoa. There we go. All right. You guys want me to do this one blind too? You guys want me to do this blind? Because if you want me to do this blind, I'll do different glasses here. Mash and Drum, quick swear from whiskey. If you haven't seen Count Me In on Netflix, check it out. All right, we'll do. I'm always looking for new stuff to watch. JD wins all day. I've done this before, says I Count Blocks. Let's see here. Blind. Yes. Those are far different whiskeys, to be honest. Well, I mean, I think that's what the comparison should be. If they're that different, I definitely want to, check this out. I would agree. I think they are far different whiskeys, but I'm curious if I can actually, I'm confident I could pick out those differences, but doing them blind, I think is always kind of fun. So do the JD and we'll do the Mikters. So really interesting article. If you guys don't follow Jim Vorel, I think that's how you say his name. It's either Jim Vorel or Jim Vorel on Paste Magazine. If any of you guys in the chat want to drop that link in there, go to Paste Magazine, look up Jim Vorel, and he wrote an article. It's a rather lengthy article. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it, but it's about going to bars and seeing bottles like Eagle Rare 17, Pappy Van Winkle, and instead of giving you a price point, it says market price. So you don't know what you're going to pay or what you're going to be spending. So it has, the whole article is kind of just a synopsis and really kind of a ringing of the bell for any of you that go to a restaurant and see, you know, it's kind of like when you go to a fancy restaurant, you go to like a nice seafood restaurant, you see lobster or you see, what do you call it? Like Chilean sea bass. And instead of a price, you see market price because they don't, you know, it's basically, you know, they're going to upcharge it depending on what they paid for it. So it's a whole like synopsis on how that works and what you should watch out for. Absolute. Oh, there it is. Cheats just dropped it in there. Oh no, that's the Old Fitzgerald 11-year bourbon. Is that the link? So yeah, I would definitely check that out. Give it a read. It's an amazing article. Jim Vorel he is one of the few whiskey writers that I really trust when it comes to his opinions and what he has to say. And I think he does great write-up reviews. He just did a review for the Little Book 5, and I completely agreed with him. And that's going to be my next review coming out. I actually have the Little Book 5 sitting right here. Here's a new Little Book, guys. A new Little Book 5, brand new. That is not my bottle. My buddy Todd Ritter sent that to me. Really good guy. And I wasn't sure, you know, he lives in Kentucky and that came out pretty early over there. And I wasn't sure when I was going to see it here in Ohio. So he sent it for me to do a review. And I'm just going to say the results for that bourbon based on the blend details were extremely surprising. Extremely surprising. Yeah, there you go. Cheech is how do those two stack against the Old Forester barrel strength? I haven't gotten a damn Old Forester single barrel proof rye yet, unfortunately. I can't fucking get a bottle of that. I can't. If I do want to pay the secondary for it, they sell in like 2 seconds, but I'm usually too late to get one. I've never even seen a bottle of it yet. The one place I did see it was like they were selling it for like $250. I mean, I got the sample from Old Forester, but that's gone, so I can't even compare it if I wanted to, unfortunately. So, all right, these are all mixed up. Let's go to this one. Ooh, man, that smells good. Oh, both of these smell incredible. Yeah, one is definitely a little sweeter. Yeah, you get the so normally, you know, I love Mikters barrel proof rye. Normally what you get this really beautiful mix of like mintiness and sweetness. But if I remember correctly, the Jack Daniel's gives you just this extra level of like candy coated goodness that goes along with that beautiful rye spice. Like, but the rye spice I don't feel like is as prevalent as you get in the Mikters. Tim Cornet is the master. We're going to come out with another special rye next year. Can you ask them next month? Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to ask about the rye. I'm like, if there's going to be a release that you guys need to make, an annual release, it's got to be that rye. So yeah, so real quick, the proof on this particular Mikters is 55.4, and this specific Jack Daniel's is 129.4. So holy crap, big difference. God, man, this one is just so candy. I'm actually getting chocolate chip cookie dough on this. Man, good hint of mint and spice. This one's coming off as a little bit even, I don't know if it's as sweet. It's just a different type of sweetness. This is like way more caramel heavy. More brown sugar, caramel, the mint. All right, let's try this one. Oh. Holy milk chocolate I just got on that. Holy crap. That cookie dough factor is coming through hard. Woo! So yeah, Aaron C. So that's actually a good question for the chat. 10-year Jack at 97 proof for 70 is a brutal disappointment. So what do you guys think of the price point versus the years on the Jack? Now, we haven't, generally the single barrels, the ones that you see on the shelf, are anywhere between, I think, 5 to 7 years old. Now we're getting an age-stated 10-year-old Jack, although it's 97 proof, but it's $70. Do most of you still say, yeah, I do? The curiosity for me is I want to taste Jack Daniels at that age. I want to see if the banana goes away. I mean, the tasting notes that they're giving says it gets into more like raisins and like darker, richer, dark fruits. And I want to see if I could find that in a 10-year-old Jack Daniels. Does the banana like influence go away? Or do you say, screw that. I still, for that money, I'm buying a Jack Daniels barrel proof all day. What do you guys think about that? Yeah, inner fat kid kicking in for sure. Yeah, I mean, I kind of see it the way Rarebird's like $10 a year isn't bad, $7 a year isn't bad, honestly. I mean, it's kind of the same boat as Widow Jane, but JD is way more reputable. We'd definitely like to see how JD holds up at double-digit age. The proof will be in the drinking, of course, but I think it could be really good. Sometimes older stuff does better. Yeah, I totally agree, Halden. I think we could end up tasting a 10-year, Tennessee whiskey from Jack Daniels that has completely different flavors and nuances than what we're used to with what we're drinking now. I mean, what do we say now when we drink anything? Jack Daniels, banana, warm banana bread, caramel. You get some of the Lincoln County process. You get some good oak. Get a little bit. Sometimes you get a little fruit in there, but mostly it's kind of driven by like that nice banana bread, warm baking spices, rich like syrupy caramel. Sometimes you get some chocolate, especially in the picks. Does the extra age bring out more of these dark fruit flavors? That's what I want to find out. Inexperience, for me, I care more about the proof than the age for the price. All right, so yeah, but I'll say this to you. Yeah, the proof is great, but not everyone wants to drink a whiskey that's 125 to 130 proof. So 97 proof might be something that they're looking more for. So it really depends on what your palate is, what you like, but I feel like, practically 100 proof is kind of a nice proof point for a 10-year-old. So yeah, Jack Daniels is a massive distillery. Their cost per barrel is very low, so not going to a higher proof is a disappointment. I could see that point, Aaron, for sure. All right, let's try this one. Ooh, way more mint on this one. As this one, I'm getting all that chocolate and the cookie dough and the sugar and a little bit of mint. This is a little bit more evergreen, citrus. This drinks a little bit more like a rye, where this drinks a little bit more like something different. I'm going to guess that that's the Jack and that's the Mikters, because this thing is just on another planet. Yeah, that's the Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels, to me, still wins it. The nose on both of these were actually really, really close. Where it really, is different is the palate. The Jack Daniels is just too much of a monster, and that chocolate mint just punches you on the palate. Whilst the Mikters, even though it's we're looking at 115 proof, it's still a little bit more delicate. I'm sorry, not 115. This ended up being, was that? Oh yeah, 100 and 110 proof, 110.8. So right about 111 proof. So just under 115. So, but man, God, the Jack Daniels is so ridiculous. And I'm kind of interested in doing this. I'm going to see how this blends. Why not? Let's in the spirit of Blendageddon, let's see how some of these blend together. It's a lot of fun. Let's see how Mikter's barrel strength and the and that one actually blends together. All right. Let me get a little water break here. I really enjoyed the Mikters, but the JD just dominant. Yeah, I agree. The Mikters is so damn good, but yeah, that JD is just it's on another planet. Let's see here. JD Mash Bill is far higher in rye content, though, I thought. Yeah, the Mikters, yeah, you're right about that. The JD does have a higher rye content than Mikters. Mikters is kind of one of those barely legal ryes, I think, even though it's always, the Mikters keeps everything under wraps. We don't know where they're sourcing from, even though I kind of think it's Brown Foreman. But their ryes could be a different story. Not sure where they're getting their ryes from. That's one thing I would love to find out, but I don't think anyone's gotten a definitive answer yet. The Master Dre, what's up, Donnie? We'll get another I fell moment after all this tonight. I think we're okay. 187 thumbs up. That's right. Hit that like button, guys. All right. So next up, let's see here. What do we got? I'm trying to remember what I put on the thumbnail. Drinking the best under $20 bottle right now while watching. Evan Williams, Bottle and Bond. Love your content, man. Cheers. Oh, absolutely. Thanks, Johnny Shipman. Evan Williams, Bottle and Bond. Yeah, can't go wrong with that. That's a damn good bourbon for the price, I gotta say. All right. Let's go to, actually, before we go into the Russells versus Pingree, which I think will be a phenomenal matchup, somebody actually did give me a question of two scotches. So I'm gonna throw these in real quick, and I'll tell you why. That's right. Okay, here we go. Glenfiddich 14. So I'm about to take out two single malt scotches that are probably two of the most, two of the most recommended single malts I would give for beginners or bourbon drinkers trying to get into Scotch. Why? The Balvenie 12-year-old Doublewood is a mix of bourbon and sherry. 43% ABV. It's not too high of an ABV, but it drinks really nice and easy. It's got a lot of flavor. It's not so malt forward. Now the Glenfiddich 14, this is the Bourbon Barrel Reserve. Now this is strictly bourbon barrels, all bourbon barrels. 14 years in bourbon barrels, adds sweet notes of creamy toffee and ripe summer fruit. And then it's finished again in an American new oak casks. So imparting more of some ex-bourbon flavors or more bourbon flavors into the Scotch. So these two are primarily the ones I recommend to people if they want to get into Scotch. So let's do a quick. I actually don't think I've ever compared these, honestly. This will actually be kind of fun. James Taylor, I want to see Remus 5 versus ER17. You missed that one, James. We did that one already. Spoiler alert, the Remus took it. Just barely. The ER17 did way better than I thought it was going to do. It held on, but the Remus was a little bit more, it was a little bit richer on the palate and had a way better finish than the Eagle Rest 17 did. So, yeah, Remus for the win. Okay, so Balvenie will take it, but I have not tried this particular Glenfiddich. Palate cleanser. Yeah, I'll do a little palate cleanser here. So again, Balvenie is one of the most storied. So Balvenie, really interesting, guys. The Doublewood. This was the first time, I think, and someone in the chat could correct me. I know Donald Rance, if you know this too. David Stewart, who is the Balvenie malt master, he was the one that was kind of solely responsible for doing this double casking in the world of single malt Scotch. So that means taking something that's been aging in ex-bourbon oak for a good amount of time and then throwing it in a secondary cask to get some more flavor out of it. And at the time, it was looked upon as very, transformational within the world of single malt Scotch. And as we see today, a lot more of that happens. But really, the Balvenie, I think, was kind of the first, you know, the one to do it, and it became this whole transformation throughout the world of Scotland, and we started seeing a lot more of them. One of my favorite scotches in the world was the Bunnahabhain 12. They do a double casking as well, and I think that's why it's so interesting. The Glenfiddich is a name in Scotch that's been around for many years, one of the biggest Scotch distilleries in Scotland. You're looking at 14 years old, really, really nice age statement. This stuff is only about $55, $60 retail for a 14-year-old Scotch. It's 43% ABV, just like the Balvenie, so it's a really nice matchup. And like I said, all ex-bourbon. And I think they're using Jim Beam and Buffalo Trace cast from that, the last thing I read, but don't hold me to that. I'm not sure if that's Dollarant says correct, Jason. Thank you very much. His palate cleanser is probably Pabst Blue Ribbon. All right. So the Balvenie. Balvenie is known for having a lot of honey characteristics. You get like heather, honey, a little bit of that, like not burnt toast, but there's like a nice little like light medium toast characteristic. You definitely get a little bit of the raisin. You get some of the sherry influence. A little bit of chocolate. Very light, though. Maybe even some fig in there, too. This is a really, really well-balanced, interesting nose. All right, let's go to Glenfiddich now. Yeah, I don't think I've done this comparison. Oh, yeah, you get the honey in here, just like the Balvenie, but you get way more vanilla. The bourbon cask influence really comes, it really shines through here. Caramel. You get the caramel, the vanillas. You do get some of the malt in there too, though. The honey still shines through. I always feel like honey and toast is kind of like the usual flavor I get in a good single malt. Let's see here. That Glenfiddich 14X bourbon isn't complex, but so delicious. Yeah, we're going to take a sip here a little bit. Audio Junkie says, just started my bourbon journey about 3 months ago. Just got my first near $100 bottle based on review. I got Barrel Dovetail. That's awesome. Dude, Barrel Dovetail is ridiculously good. Man, I actually think the Balvenie 12 is a little bit more interesting just because of that extra sherry influence, that raisin and that extra like dark red fruit it gives you. This is definitely more, though, on the side. If you're not ready for sherry yet, you can dive into this. Flavors are more familiar here. You get the vanilla and the caramels. Don't get much oak. It's pretty light. All right, let's try the Glenfiddich. Yeah, super light. Very, very vanilla. But not rich vanilla. It's more of a light vanilla. You wish there was kind of more pulling in from the ex-bourbon cask, especially for a 14-year-old. Very, very light caramel. Kind of like a whipped cream type thing going on. Like a very light creaminess to it, but not very complex. The Balvenie. Okay, the Balvenie has Richie Z, man, you're right. The Balvenie has way more going on. Way more. It's got a better finish. They're both 43%. The Balvenie somehow has a better finish. It's a little bit more interesting, a little bit more layered. The raisin, the fig is still there, a little slight hint of like a fig Newton. The honey characteristic, the toast. Yeah, the Glenfiddich 14. Even though I do think this is a great starter scotch for anyone coming from bourbon, because there is a lot of light vanilla and caramel in here, I still think the Balvenie might be a better option overall. I just think the fruit flavors, you get, it might not come over as cherry. It might not reflect as cherry, but the mix of those flavors that you get in here, I actually prefer the Balvenie 12 over the Glenfiddich 14. Balvenie 12, and both of these bottles are really, really available everywhere. They're a great price and both great starters for bourbon drinkers trying to get into scotch. I would also throw the Bunnahabhain 12 in that mix as well, and also the Compass Box Spice Tree. Those four, I've gotten more people into Scotch than any other bottles of Scotch that I have. So those 4 I would actually recommend trying if you're trying to look to maybe get into single malts. And both great values. 12 years old, 14 years old, about 50, 55, 60 bucks maybe the most. Absolutely great single malts. All right. As a bourbon lover, I find most commercial scotches to be boring. Peated stuff is at least strong and interesting. Wish affordable, high-ish proof scotches were more normal. Yeah, Kenneth, I would agree. I think normally when you see the higher proof ones, there's, you're looking at like the peated ones, which not everybody can really get into. Like you're looking at the Wee Beastie, some of the core range Ardbegs are really high proof. We just talked about the new Lefroy cast strength. There's not a lot of those higher proof. You can find the Macallan. The Macallan like full proof is around the cast strength. That is available around. You can get Macallan at a high proof, but Macallan's generally pretty expensive. You're looking at $100 for that bottle. But yeah, there's not a ton of super high proof. That's why I always recommend like Bunnahabhain. Like Bunnahabhain's always at 46%, non-chill filtered. Some of the special release Bunnahabhains, like the PX, they could get over 100 proof. The Octomores are really high proof, but again, that's really high, heavily peated stuff. So it really just depends what you like. All right, I'm going to try this Mikters JD blend real quick. Interesting. The Mikters rye spice actually took over the blend a little bit. Okay, on the very, very end, the JD like chocolate punch comes through. But mainly on the palate, the more like citrus and evergreen notes that you get from the Mikters and the mint. Both of them had mint, so the mint's very strong in the blend. But yeah, I feel like it's more it went more Mikters than JD. Maybe because I drank more of the JD than the Mikters. But yeah, that proportion. Actually, if I were to do it again, I would put less Mikters and more JD to see how it would do it. Yeah, interesting blend though. Yeah, I mean, I would still drink that rye any day of the week. It's delicious, but I still think that winning blend tonight is that Eagle Rare 17 and Remus blend. That was ridiculous. Holy crap. All right. Hey, Bubble Bath Bourbon's in the house. What's going on? Ardbeg Ugadal. That's the stuff for me. That is a really nice, easy sherried Ardbeg to drink. Yes, the mint is strong with this one. Yeah. More scotch, please. Jason tipped me on the Talisker 18. Very grateful. Oh, man. I still have yet. I got to do my video on I think that's going to be probably one of my next What's on the Shelf Wednesdays, or I might do like an introduction to Talisker, because Talisker is one of my favorite distilleries right now. All right. Let's go to a couple of the big dogs here. While I'm setting this one up, in the chat, what I want you guys to do is put a couple of matchups that you think you want to see as we start rounding out the night here. A couple of matchups that you think, if I have the bottles, I'll do them. So this is what's going to happen. You guys can put any matchups you want to see. If nobody has ideas for matchups, take someone's idea that they have for a matchup and just kind of reiterate it in the chat. And whichever one I see that has like the most like votes, what's trending, I'll see if I can do it, hopefully. So you guys can start doing that in the chat now. Right now, I'm going to set up Russell's Reserve 13 versus Mayor Pingree 13. So here we go. This is a beloved Russell's 13 versus the Mayor Pingree 13 out of, this is from Valentine Distilling out of Michigan. This is sourced NGP, but, you know, both are 13 years old. I mean, just ridiculous. Both are ridiculous. If DC is still in the chat, he remembers when I spilled this shit on my pants. Totally spilled it. Completely spilled it on myself. Yeah, I thought I had the picture of that one when I did it. Mellow corn versus all takers. Mellow corn versus the world. Love it. All right, let's go. Oh, I got another one of these. Perfect. All right, let's go here. Do a little Mayor Pingree action, 13 years. I'm not sure how often Valentine Distilling puts out these 13 years, but, you know, I have seen them around. Not lately, though. On the Russell's Reserve 13. So I think it's going to come down to complexity versus finish. The Russell's Reserve 13 has a beautiful finish, but I still feel like it's a little bit, it's more of an elegant, subdued finish, whereas the 13 and the Mayor Pingree kind of, it has a very hard-hitting finish, I think. All right, so I'm looking at some of the things here. Blue Note versus Blue Run. Well, that's kind of a cool one. DC says Mayor by a landslide. Oh shit, DC. Okay. I love Turkey, great matchup, but good age MGP. Pingree 13 has got this. Okay. Old Fitzgerald versus Weller. I think I've done that before. I don't have a Turkey 17 that's open. I have my backup up there. I haven't opened that one yet, so I don't think I could do anything with Turkey, unfortunately. Barrel Dovetail versus Bardstown and Scurry 4 and 5. Those are all completely different whiskeys. The Barrel Dovetail just has so many finishes on it. It'd be kind of easy to pick that out. Bardstown, yeah, those are... The Dovetail is like on another planet with the finishes and all that, unfortunately. Woodford Batch Proof versus Blue Run 14. That would be an interesting matchup. I'm not crazy about either one of those. Chattanooga Bottle and Bond versus Old Forester. Okay. Stag Junior 12 versus EC 920 or B 520. It's a cool matchup, actually. Mitchell, that's not even a contest. Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Rye will destroy Stellum Rye. That's not even a contest. Blue Note 17 versus Elijah Craig 18. Okay. Lefroy Cast Strength versus Ardbeg Corey. I don't have any more Lefroy Cast Strength. I finished my bottle. I haven't gotten another one. I'll tell you though, I could tell you just from experience, I like the Ardbeg Corby over the Lefroy Cast Strength. Pikesville versus Old Forester Rye. I think I did that on a video. Oh, Classic Cut. I'm sorry. Classic Cut. That's the name of the... Classic Cut is the barrel strength Macallan. It's called Classic Cut. Thank you for that. Rebel Yell 10 versus Old Fitz. All right. So since you guys have seen some of those matchups in the chat, pick out your favorites, start putting them in there, and we'll see what we can figure out here. All right. Actually, yeah, let's do this one blind real quick while you guys are putting that in the chat, and we'll have, I could probably squeeze in maybe 2 more matchups before we call it a night. Let's do this. Russell's 13, and then we have the Mayor Pingree. Okay. These are both the same glass, so I won't be able to tell what it is. Perfect. All right. Let's mix them up. Let me put them down here and just kind of spin them around here. Ardbeg 10 versus Lagavulin 11. I probably would still take the Ardbeg over that. Eric Waits, thoughts on passing of Charlie Watts? Yeah, Eric Wade, thanks so much for coming in. Yeah, we talked about that in the beginning of the show. We did a nice little pour for Charlie Watts. I had said that I think Charlie Watts is probably one of the most underrated drummers of all time. He was always so solid. He played for over half a century with the Rolling Stones. I thought his drumming on which song am I thinking of? Painted Black is very, very underrated. I think it's an absolutely unbelievable performance, and when you see him do it live, he was always so clean and so just on point. Never Like you would think he was like a machine the way he drummed. I mean, just everything. He was just so spot on with everything. Never over drummed. It never looked like he ever got tired. Completely brilliant drummer. So, all right. Mitch Whitman says Middle West Pumpernickel Rye versus Wilderness Trail Rye. Oh shit. There you go. Sam Houston 14 versus Turkey. Rebel Casting versus Larceny. Getting a promise shipment from Whiskey Nose versus the Mash Bill. Rare Breed versus 114. Oh, that's interesting. So Rare Breed, so Wild Turkey Rare Breed versus Old Granite 114. Kind of digging that. Let's do Dickel Tabasco versus Old Tub. Oh, Jesus Christ. Trying to kill me? All right. So on the nose, the one on my right hand, man, chocolate covered orange peels all day long. Deep brown sugars, caramels, and that could be either one of these, honestly. Wow. A little bit of cherry. See, a good amount of cherry, actually. Some spice. This is going to be tough. You guys watch me struggle here. Man, I'm getting a lot of the same things here. This one actually is coming off more cherry. There's a lot more like a cherry cordial thing going on here. A little bit of that Luxardo, like cherry syrup, I was picking up in that blend. I'm getting here in this glass. Man, but this one also has a little bit of butterscotch. Little bit of butterscotch. Just saying. Old Tub versus your least favorite Bookers. Man, that Old Tub just drinks like fucking peanuts and shit. Russell's 13 versus Wild Turkey Father and Son. Good night, Scott. Yeah, we're only going to be on here for another, few minutes. I don't know if I'll get to more blend. I'm going to do one more of the voted on blends and see where we go. All right. I think on the nose, this one has it. This one has, it's kind of got some of what's going on here, but it's got that butterscotch overlay that's just winning me over. All right, let's try it on the palate. Oh my God. That's ridiculous. That is so good. This is more chocolatey and brown sugar, caramel, creme brulee. So sweet, peppery, little hint of cherry. This is creme brulee with like a cherry or raspberries on top. Little like chocolate shavings too on top of that creme brulee. Holy crap, that's good. Oh, I like that matchup, ADHD. Obtanium Light Whiskey versus Old Carter American. Oh, I'm kind of digging that one. Maybe I'll do that. All right, this one on the palate. Ooh. Oh, man. Oak. Oh, my God. The butterscotch is just... Which one has that big butterscotch? Whatever has that butterscotch known is winning me over. But that's just because it's personally my favorite flavor to find in a bourbon is butterscotch. I just absolutely love that note. So this one is actually giving me all the butterscotch. All right, let's go to this one real quick. Oh, man. This one has more of a finish. And the cherry. These are so close that it's actually it's so whatever. I mean, you think about Russell's 13, what people are paying here, and then these Pingree 13s. I don't know if we're gonna, anybody that's in Michigan. I mean, are more of these ever coming out? Because I know the well's getting a little bit dry there in MGP for these ultra aged barrels. But my God. I mean, this is absolutely hanging with this. Both of them are really tough to pick. One is a lot spicier, one is a little bit more chocolatey, and one is a little bit more fruity and more butterscotch. For me, I have to lean towards the butterscotch because that's my favorite profile. But, the other one, this one, has a more interesting finish. So I might guess that this is the NGP. This could be the Mayor Pingree. And the Russell's is this one with that butterscotch note. But I haven't had this in a while, and I can't remember if it had the butterscotch. So let's see. Oh, God, I can't even read my writing. Holy shit. I actually picked the Mayor Pingree. Wow. That Mayor Pingree is ridiculous. Holy crap, that's good. The Russell's 13, this one threw me off a little bit. It was giving me that funky oak, but it was giving me like the longer finish, and that was kind of winning me over at first. But man, this came in with a hard Werther's Original candy butterscotch note. Jesus. Unsubscribe, dislike, report block. I'm telling you, man. Yeah, Rare Bird, David. If I gotta send you this. I would be interested to see your take if you compared those two. If I sent you a sample list. It's the butterscotch note that won me over. It's what it is. These two head to head. DC called it. Wow. But I mean, David and I know he's joking, but we've talked about the Russell Reserve 13 is a very, very good, delicious bourbon. But if you've had experience with some Russell Reserve picks that are just so good, it kind of takes it down a notch. And I just don't think a lot of people, it's like all of a sudden the Russell's 13 came out and everybody was on the Wild Turkey hype train. But like guys like me, like David and other people that follow Wild Turkey know how good their bourbons are, that, when they do those Russell's Reserve picks, some of them are just phenomenal. Just phenomenal. So you put something like that up against this, and you could kind of see where Russell Reserve 13 can get a little bit exposed. I mean, it's still a fucking delicious bourbon, and I would be happy to have 10 bottles of those. But this Mayor Pingree, this specific one, I don't know if they're all like that, but I mean, butterscotch and the chocolate, and my God, that thing's good. Yeah. Russell Reserve 13 is less than that Pingree retail. Yeah, you're right. The Pingree, I think, comes in at like 130 retail. So it is more money retail. Hey, do you know if the new JD 10-year coming out is going to be allocated? Apparently, it is going to be limited, but it is going to be an annual release. They're not going to have a ton of bottles of it, but they said it's going to be limited. So take that for what you will. Yeah, Mash and Drum. Yeah, correct. Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, I've been drinking Russell Reserve picks for ages, and I know how fucking good they are. And if nobody has had that experience, they think that Russell's Reserve 13 is all of a sudden like this God's gift to whiskey, and that's just not the case. I mean, Rare Bird was on, when we did the 50,000 subscriber celebration, he was on with me, and we went through it, and we tasted some really amazing single barrels that were, I'm not going to say as good as the 13, but they were close. And you could get pretty close. I've had people say that our look at the birdie pick, they enjoyed more than the Russell Reserve 13. So everyone needs to just like kind of like cool your jets, relax. The Russell's 13 is an absolutely monster, delicious bourbon, but Wild Turkey's been putting good shit like out like this for a long time. But a blue label comes out and a 13-year age statement, and people fucking lose their mind. So just saying, relax. I'm going to blend them because that's what we're doing tonight. All right, let's do our last matchup. I think, yeah, the Mash and Journey Russell Reserve pick is fire. Yeah. Yep. I'll blend this. That's the, yep. It's the Mayor Pingree. Amen. Preach. Exactly, dude. I'm right there with you. Look at the birdie is much better than Russell Reserve. Yeah, I mean, see, this is what I mean. Like, you get a really good barrel pick that will jive with your palate a little bit more. So, but that's what, I mean, we've been talking about Wild Turkey for years, like how good their shit is. It just boggles my mind that a blue label comes out with a 13-year on it, and then everyone's like, oh, something new? Wow. Which is like complete bullshit. All right. We need to, yes, last C. Russell Reserve will be an annual release. There will be different proof points, I think, and Rare Bird, I think, could probably correct me if I'm wrong. But I think each year there could be different proof points that we see. So this year was the 114.8. Next year's could be, 115.2 or less or whatever it may be. So yeah, supposed to be. Wild Turkey's best impersonation of Buffalo Trace. Russell Reserve 13. Yeah, that's basically what happened, Tim. Wild Turkey all of a sudden got into like Buffalo Trace, the realm of Buffalo Trace with this release. It got crazy. Rebecca Page says, blend a Russell Reserve single barrel 10-year and a 13-year and call it the American blend. It's a good idea. How many damn Glen Cairns do you have? I got a lot. I got a lot of Glens. Russell Reserve 13 isn't even released in New York. Wow, that's surprising. Shit. Redbreast Cast Strength versus Blue Spot. Oh, dude. I think Blue Spot would kill it. Stop talking about Russell Reserve picks. Dude, I mean, I think Russell Reserve picks, it's one of those things that people that know how good they are, they buy them up. People that don't, I mean, even here in Ohio, the Russell Reserve picks, even though they released a lot of them, they were around for a little while. You could find them if you went to the right places. It doesn't like sell out as fast as you think they would. So, but speaking of stuff that sells out really fast, next week, I can't believe I'm doing this shit, but next week here on the Mash and Drum, I am going to have a guest on. His name is Dominic, and he is the biggest Blanton's tater on the face of the earth. Or one of them. So he is coming on, and he is bringing some really rare Blanton's bottles to try and to taste. I mean, stuff from like back in the 80s, some of the special releases overseas. This guy's collection, I think, is worth about $50,000 or more. There's going to be a news article about it. I'll leave in the link when I make the thumbnail. You guys can check it out. But the biggest, I'm leaving all my bias at the door. And the biggest Blanton's tater on the face of the earth is coming on the channel. And we're going to talk through some of the history of some of these bottles, why they're so coveted, some of these special releases. It's going to be really weird, but it's happening next week. I figured this would be a good way to talk Blanton's a little bit and get into some of the history of it. He's got some cool backstories about Blanton's, which I think you guys will appreciate it, some of the history behind it. But overall, I just think it'll be a fun time. Just crazy. Yeah. He's the Blanton's god. Looking forward to that. Some of that old Bland's is fantastic. Yep. Dusty Bland's is not current. Yeah, exactly. So some of the old stuff I'm really looking forward to trying. All right. So 50K, so like 14 bottles. He's got a lot of shit, man. He's got a lot of stuff. You going to wear your tater shirt? Yeah, I think I am. I think I'm gonna get my Blanton shirt on for that specific event for sure. He also actually has the Sterling bottle, which is one of the most coveted Blanton's bottles on the face of the earth. The one that's completely covered in silver. It looks like a hood ornament, but he actually just got one of those. So we're not going to open it and try it, but he's got it. So I don't know if he's going to bring it, but we'll see what I could coax him into bringing. Should be pretty crazy. Yeah, I'm going to have horsies coming out of my ass, basically. There's going to be horsies everywhere. It's literally going to be my personal hell. Just fucking Bland's horses all over the place. I can't even take it. All right. So last blend of the night before we call it a night. He has a lot of those. He's got a lot of those. But he's also got some of the special Polish releases, all the special edition Japanese releases. The guy has a ridiculous amount of blends. It's crazy. Okay. I got to go back to the blends, to the last matchup here we're going to do. Let's see here. Ugadale versus Korvyekin. Richie actually did that on a video already. Yep. Let's see. Mixing time. Let's see here. What should I do here? You know what? I did see one come up that kind of interested me that I want to kind of do. Let's see. Call the horse whisperer for a session here. Let's do. I have kind of a. Let's see here. I think what I want to do here is the. Well, I already did Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Rye. Yeah, I think the Old Carter versus Obtanium Light Whiskey is a good matchup, and I'm going to thank ADHD Whiskey for that. So let's do Obtanium, which I have. Where is my Obtanium? I think it's back here. All right, let me grab Obtanium. Obtanium Light Whiskey versus the Old Carter Batch 6. All right. Final matchup of the night. This is, what is this retail for? This is about what, $50? About? The Obtaniums, about 50. Versus $200 of Old Carter American whiskey goodness. And this is predominantly a light whiskey blend. All right. I'm at a Glen, so I can't like hide the glasses because I'll know what's in what. But well, real quick, let me try the Russell's Mayor Pingree blend. That might be the best blend of the night. The other best blend was the Remus Eagle Rare blend. No, the Eagle Remus blend still wins. The Eagle Remus blend is ridiculous. It's not even close. That's ridiculous. All right. This is Old Carter American. So this is batch 6. They're known to use some light whiskeys, light whiskey in their blends. And the Obtanium light whiskey comes in. This one is 14 years old and 73.5% ABV. So you're looking at 140 and change. All right. So on the nose, the Old Carter brings a little bit more oak, a little bit more deeper, richer caramel, while the Obtanium, you're looking at just pure fucking candy corn. I mean, pure candy corn. Tim Evans, did you have like a cool idea? Oh, Bowman versus Blanton's. Get the palette ready. Yeah. Oh shit! I guess got a super chat here. I recently did Buffalo Trace store pick Eagle Round Blanton's comparison. Blanton's won, but it was very close. Okay. Listen, Blanton's, you know, depending on the barrel, could be a lot better. Just I happen to, you know, the ones that I've tasted just tend to be a lot more flat than good ones. But remember, it's a 6-year-old whiskey now. On the nose, Old Carter wins. It's more rounded. There's some more depth of flavor to it. Let's go to the palate. Let's go to the Obtainium. Holy crap. That is pineapple. And it's got some fucking mango in there. That is like pineapple, juicy fruit gum, and candy corns all wrapped into one. It's like take every tropical like Starburst candy that you can think of, like the tropical pack. Coconut. I don't remember all those flavors in this shit. Strawberry. I mean, it's as tropical as it gets. It's really fruit heavy, very sweet, a lot of candy corn. Let's go to this one here. Yeah, hazmat, heck of a nightcap is for sure. I've been feeling pretty good the whole time, but now I'm starting to feel shit. See, Old Carter is more oak, more caramel. You get some of those tropical fruit notes, but they're very subdued. It's a little bit more rounded in flavor. It's not as harsh either as the Obtainium. But man, a lot closer than I thought it would be. Yeah, the Old Carter has those tropical notes as well. But the candy corn, the spice, there's definitely more oak presence here. I think it's a little bit older. I don't even know if it's older. It might not be. This is 14 years, but this is drinking older. It's got more rounded flavors in it. When you have the Obtainium coming off the Old Carter, this is like drinking pure sugar. I think that's pretty incredible. You have a $50 bottle here that is just tropical sugar candy sweet, and then you have a $200 bottle which gives you some of that, but it's a little bit more rounded in flavor. I think that's actually was a great comparison from ADH2. I think it's actually showed you how light whiskey, you know, it's definitely a little bit closer. You know, when you talk about price, 50 versus 200. They're a lot closer than you think they would be. I mean, the Old Carter has the name, and Old Carter, I think Old Carter has better stuff just mixed in here. Remember, they're making a blend that's very balanced and rich in flavor. The Obtainium is just like straight, like fire, light whiskey, candy, tropical notes. So, I mean, if you don't want to spend $200 a bottle, some of these Obtainiums are absolutely incredible. I have a port finished Obtainium. That is some of the best stuff I've tried this year. So, man, that was a friggin' fun. Best blend of the night, though, so far. The Eagle Rare 17 Remus blend. Is that what this is? This is what I'm finishing the night with, guys. I want to say thanks to everyone for hanging out. Next week, the biggest Blanton's tater in the world is coming on the channel. We're going to be trying some really ridiculous, fun. I'm not sure what he's bringing, but we'll see. We're going to have some pretty rare Blantons in this room next week. I'm a little bit scared about it. So we'll see what happens. I really appreciate all the support. If you're interested in getting some of the barrel picks, please join Patreon. Got some fun stuff coming out very, very soon. Check out my next review. I think that'll be released Friday, which will be the Little Book 5. Is it better than Little Book 3, which is my favorite? And are those young whiskeys, you know, do they kind of kill the blend in Little Book 5? Gonna have to tune in to find out. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. And if anyone's live tonight, not really sure, definitely go check it. Do I want to end the night? Encore. Whiskey Encore with Cheech Ardolino. Everyone go to Whiskey Encore right now. He's going to be going live right after me, and I'll see you soon. It's not about the whiskey. It's the people you share it with. So cheers, everybody. I'm going to drink some more of this Remus Repeal blend. Take care, everybody.